the ugly, the bad, the good, becoming a stronger me, where I'm transparent about my story, my struggles, and my healing journey. My name is Petra Clark, and welcome to my personal blog, unlockedpain.com. I am anxious, happy, and excited. Honestly, this is my very first podcast that I am recording, and I am doing this on a whim. So I've had this idea of starting a podcast for probably about a year now. So when I first started this personal blog, I did blog posts where I would write. I shared some of my story, and I just felt like I'm more of a talker than I am a writer, and it just made sense for me to switch over from writing blog posts to actually creating my own podcast. One major reason why I wanted to have my own platform is because I don't want others to feel alone like I felt for many, many years. I just don't want anyone to feel that loneliness. And I just hope through opening up and sharing where I was, what I went through, and the path that I'm on will help others in some way. I just wanted to start an open dialogue with this podcast in the hopes of helping other survivors out there. I am very open. I'm a very open book nowadays because I have started the process of starting a healing journey. It is work, but I am seeing progress. And I just have this deep rooted desire in me to try and help others in my own little way. You are not alone. I know the ugly, depressed, anxiety, PTSD, trauma that comes from abuse in general, but child sexual abuse specifically. And I just want to be there somehow if anybody's listening that un- that's been through this, just to help to share my journey, where I was, where I'm headed, and where I'm at right now. And I just feel like I have my good days, and of course, I still have, some not so good days. But I feel like I am in a much better place than I was even 2 years ago. And so if I can share just bits and pieces of what helps me and maybe aha moments that I have, I want to share that. I want to be a voice that maybe even inspires others. I do want to help in any way possible. And for a long time, I just didn't believe I could help in any way. And I just had to start to believe in myself and try something. And this is my way of trying and just, you know, trying to just do my part to help others that are not on that healing path yet, but want to get there. I just want you to know that you are loved, you are resilient, you are beautiful. What happened should have never happened. It absolutely was not your fault. I know that you probably hear this all the time, and it's not easy when people say that. You know, you have to get in a space where you truly start to believe it at the core of that trauma, if that makes sense. And it's a journey. I don't think there's necessarily a book you can read. You know, you just have to continue to take those positive steps. Some of the things, I guess that may sound normal that you hear, if you combine that with your own ways of happiness, like, for example, think positive, hang out with positive people, try and have a great support system, exercise, go for a walk, watch a funny movie, listen to uplifting music. If you combine that with ways that you start to discover that make you happy and you combine those two, that's pretty much how I started my healing journey. I personally, and this is just my personal thoughts, so I don't want anyone to take what I say in the context of me trying to tell you what to do. For me personally, I did not want to take medication. I'm just being very transparent when I speak about my own journey. It does not mean that I don't believe medication is needed for some people or that it's necessarily a bad thing. But for me personally, that was not the route that I wanted to take. I really wanted to start a healing path as natural as possible. There's a couple reasons. I don't know if I'll get into that quite today, but that was just my personal choice. And so I started to combine that with things that make me happy. I started my journey, I'm just going to be completely honest. I didn't know what makes me happy. I got into, I guess you could say, a daily routine of not taking care of myself in many different aspects. And I forgot what makes me happy. So I had to relearn that, if I'm being completely honest. I had to learn the new me on this new healing path. And so I had to start digging, basically, to figure out what makes Petra happy, what makes me happy. And it was kind of hard at first to do that because you get stuck in this bad habit. And that's what it was, is a really bad habit. And once I started, it did become a little bit easier trying to discover, and fun, to be honest, to discover what makes me happy. And so I started to combine that with the typical things that people tell you, as far as when people try to help you, get over trauma, which, let's just be completely honest, I I don't think that you ever completely get over trauma, but you can manage it if you really do the work. I really believe that. So, um, yeah, I don't really have anything written down. Like I said, I'm doing this literally just on the whim because I've been saying that I wanted to start a podcast, and I just said, let's do it now. I'm thinking about it. I keep saying I want to do it. So this is, yeah, my very first podcast. I hope to have many more in the future. I will probably have subjects, and try to kind of figure out a format of how I want to do this podcast. It may be random some days. Honestly, I'm not even sure how I'm going to do this, but I know that I'm going to do this. I want to do this. I want my voice out there to help others. So, this again is just my little way of trying to fill in the gaps out there for those who think that they're alone. I'm here. I will listen. If I can guide you in some way as far as resources, I definitely will do that. So there's a lot of things that I've been doing the last probably about 3 years to help me get to where I'm at today. And it's still a journey, and I'm actually excited about my journey. It does not mean I don't have bad days, but I'm excited to kind of see how far I come. And I've come quite a ways in the last 3 years. I feel like me being open and transparent is also going to help me start to heal even more from some of the trauma. So I know I'm rambling on. I'm excited. So I hope you are too. I hope you'll come back and listen to more of my future podcasts. And if there is anything, questions, anything, you can actually contact me through my website. And I look forward to speaking more. I hope I'm not rambling on, which I actually know I am, but it's okay because it's my podcast. So, Godspeed. Thank you, everybody.